All right, folks, will the Federal Reserve buy back our XRP at $50,000 or more? Let's get right on into it. So I did want to announce that I have been selected to join the confidential committee in regards to putting together the buyback proposal that Jimmy Valley did with Val Hill Capital that was actually submitted to the Federal Reserve last year. So we just got the updated term sheet. They asked us to join the confidential committee. And the committee itself is not confidential. What we're working on and the proposal will eventually be made public. But in an effort to keep all of the different members confidential and respect their privacy, we're only allowed to say so much at this time. But I did want to tell you guys that I am officially working with Jimmy Valley and some other members within this confidential committee on the Federal Reserve buyback proposal. Now, you guys already know where I stand. I've made myself very clear. My beginning point in this negotiation is we need to abolish the Federal Reserve. There should no be private central bankers ruling over the monetary policy of this country. So that's where I begin my negotiations at. But obviously, we're dealing with very powerful people, and the current situation right now is, just to cut straight to the chase, is because of the amount of money that they've printed, the situation that our government's in, and the potential value of XRP, the price within the buyback proposal has gone up. So that's one thing. I don't know what else in the terms has changed. I'm about to actually go home back to the office and print out the term sheets, the updated terms for this buyback proposal. But guys, it is a real proposal. It's a real deal. It was submitted to the Federal Reserve. And I'm excited to keep you guys updated on this one for sure as we go through this thing. But I think a lot of people were confused and mistaken when Jimmy Valley came out with this Fed buyback proposal. I think a lot of people just thought that Jimmy was trying to get attention from the XRP army. He's just another guy who has his own self-interest. Like, he's got something to sell us on the back end, so he's trying to get the XRP community to, like him or whatever. It's the complete opposite. Jimmy Valley is a real player, real businessman, Val Hill Capital. I'm actually going to share a little bit more information on that for you guys in another episode. We're going to be covering this in the coming weeks here closely, at least one or two updates per week on the developments within this committee. But Jimmy Valley's a real guy, real deal, and he has since filed an amicus brief in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, basically using his use case, his utility as an example of why today's XRP is decentralized, why it's not a security. Jimmy Valley is a securities lawyer. He understands how to structure and offer securities. So part of the I forget exactly what he's got going on with his utility, what they're building out, but I think that they are trying to do tokenized commodities. I think he's an oil guy, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's done mergers and acquisitions within the oil space. But I'm going to drop a full, kind of deep dive on Jimmy Valley, Val Hill Capital, because I think he's a real player. He's a real businessman, and he really cares about righting the wrongs, not only for the XRP holders and the XRP community, but as far as an American. See, this is the stance that I take as an American. I hope our Treasury Department, because like I said, Federal Reserve's unconstitutional. And not only do we need to audit the Federal Reserve, we most likely should just abolish the Federal Reserve because it's completely unconstitutional. The Treasury Department is supposed to be handling our currency and the monetary supply. So I would like to bring it back to the Treasury, back to where Rosie Rios came from. And I would hope that our Treasury would work out a deal with Ripple for some of the escrow XRP, because I think that our country could utilize the XRP ledger, and, we should take advantage of the XRP while it's cheap and cut a deal with Ripple to get some of that escrow. Now, as far as the buyback proposal, obviously, as a holder, we have our interests, but I'm not part of this. I'm not joining this. I'm not talking about the buyback proposal just because I think my XRP is worth $50,000 and I want to get rich and buy a yacht. That's not what this is about. This is about righting the wrongs, not only for XRP holders in the cryptocurrency space, but our whole country needs to move forward. We need to adopt this technology, and we have to recognize not only is this technology the future, but from a balance sheet perspective, from a financial standpoint, our country is bankrupt. So we're going to have to do something. The whole damn system's breaking right now. And in fact, there was an article that's been making the rounds today, going viral, about $80 trillion of debt that pension funds have in cross-border FX debt, totaling $80 trillion. So that was just put out by the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements. And so you're starting to see the Bank of International Settlements sees the problem. $80 trillion of FX debt held by pension funds. Yeah, I don't even know what that means, but I'm going to be looking into that further and I'll report back on that one. But then we reported just last week that the Central Bank of Canada just reported a record $500 billion loss on Q3. And we're seeing central banks across the world take record historical losses. We're seeing them acquire gold and stock up on gold, which is great. Alex Mooney just introduced his bill to go back to a gold standard in the United States Congress. So huge shout to Alex Mahoney or Mooney. I forget his name. Alex, they're one of the real ones, I guess, in Congress actually doing something here, trying to get us back to sound currency and addressing the $100 trillion elephant in the room, which is not only $30 trillion in debt that our country's in, but it's over $100 trillion of unfunded liabilities, retirement accounts, Social Security, Medicare. And then you also have $80 trillion in debt of pension funds. And we know that the pension funds are in serious trouble as well. So the whole buyback proposal for me is about using an underpriced asset that has been suppressed to right the wrongs of our country's financial position, really, and to allow us to not only, once we establish the level playing field, but actually give our people an advantage. Now, I'm saying that as an American, but for me, I just want that level playing field. You know, I would hope our government would get their act together. Maybe they could benefit from utilizing the XRP ledger or other distributed ledger technology that has good utility, good scalability, and is efficient. But you know, I'm not holding my breath for the government to actually get anything done. I think it is important, though, and this is the last point I'm going to make on this. Jimmy Valley and bringing about this Fed buyback proposal is a fantastic precedent, beginning offer for if something goes weird, something gets crazy in this lawsuit, we will have this precedent, this justification, and the first initial offer that, hey, we believe that our XRP is worth $50,000, or the price has gone up. I got to look through this most recent term sheet that Jimmy sent me. You know, our XRP is worth $100,000. You know, we're going to have to go through the numbers, play with the numbers a little bit, take a look at the situation. But one thing for sure is that the XRP community should be, I think, getting behind Jimmy Valley, Val Hill Capital, because I think that he's a real player. He's a real guy. And being a securities lawyer, he's making a very strong case. He's building out his own utility outside of Ripple's control on the XRP ledger. And this is what we want. And so I'm a big fan of Jimmy. I'm a big fan of this buyback proposal. I know, a lot of people think that this is absolutely ridiculous. 50K just turns off a lot of people. You know, if you even mention XRP at 1,000 or 10,000, people just run away, you know, or get offended. And it's just like, well, hold up. You know, we got trillion-dollar problems. We got quadrillion-dollar markets that have to go somewhere, right? So let's get a deal done. Let's figure out where it has to go. If it's not going to be XRP, it's going to be someone. It's going to be some distributed ledger technology, and maybe that's going to be quant, algo, whatever it's going to be. That's an opportunity for us, and let's move humanity forward, right? This is important. Not only in America are we terribly in debt. This recession going on now for a year. The situation just continues to get worse. But we have an opportunity here. Cut a deal with Ripple. Acquire 5 billion, 10 billion XRP from Ripple. Pay a premium even. You know, today's price at 40 cents. I haven't checked the prices today. Let's pay $1 for XRP. You know, let's just do it. But then we roll on over to that system and we're able to reset, restructure our debt and the liabilities that we have as a country. We got to do something. So I'm going to tell you right now, in the pension funds and the Social Security, it's all bust. It's all going through a major liquidity crisis. And you guys are seeing that unfold right now. It just got announced today, Bank of International Settlements saying $80 trillion in FX debt held by pension funds. And so I'm assuming, I don't even know what that means. If they're trying to trade the FX market, I don't know. Maybe they've joined the recent, I've seen the shills, the crypto shills. I've seen them. They've switched up lately, right? Now they're trading FX. I see one of them has a Pokemon show. We say, how's your program working out? Right. And that's been pretty funny to watch. But nonetheless, I want to keep you guys fully updated on the situation with the buyback